What is up, everybody? My name is Wabi the Crypto Hunter. Welcome to another episode of Show Me Your Art. And today we have, um, special artists in the sense that his art is different than the ones I have brought up before. He's actually an amazing photographer, have traveled many different places, countries, and without any further ado, let's bring up Robin Rivera. What is going on, man? How are you?
Yeah, what's going on? Thank you for having me here. I'm just here to, I love just talking to people, man. So I'm glad I came through.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. So, Robin, tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I I always wanted to travel. Travel has been on my mind since I was in high school. To be honest with you, I always knew that I was going to get into some type of career or at least some type of situation where I was going to allow me to travel and see the world. So first, my opportunity was going to university, going to college. I'm from New Jersey, so I went to Rutgers University in New Jersey, and the first time I went there, I immediately was trying to find a study abroad program that was going to allow me to go to some place that I wanted to see. I ended up doing three. The first country I went to outside of the United States was Italy, and then that just triggered everything I knew traveling was going to be about. So I decided to go to Mexico, went to Croatia, and then when I graduated university, I was like, okay, I'm done. I have a degree. Where could my degree take me? I definitely want to study abroad again, or I wanted to go abroad again. So I looked into teaching English, and I moved to Spain in 2012. Was living in Spain for a year, taught English. But when I was in Spain, I wasn't doing anything with photography. I'm not a born photographer. I'm self taught, and it was mostly to just keep memoirs and show family, friends what I was doing and just keeping track of where I was going. But like any American that has gone to university, you rack up a lot of school debt, and Spain just wasn't cutting it for what I was, making to pay off my debt. So I moved to Asia. I started in South Korea as an English teacher. They give you really good contracts there. It's steady legal work, whereas in Spain I was like, working as a tourist and not really having a sustainable contract. So Asia gave me that opportunity. And what was supposed to be 1 year in Asia ended up becoming 4 years in Korea, 1 year in Thailand, and another 4 years in China. So, I mean, in total, I ended up staying in Asia for 10 years. But I bounced around like three times for where I was living as a home base. But I traveled so many countries in Asia, also Southeast Asia, a lot of European countries. But then I would say back in 2015, I started to see younger people, younger kids getting on YouTube, shooting travel documentaries, shooting travel stuff. And I was like, I have so much experience traveling. I also have photography, photos. I'm going to go out there and start showing my work off. So I just started to, do more photography, going to more off the beaten path places, and just shooting everything I liked. That's the key component to my art: shooting what I like, just doing it for myself. Anything that I wanted to put up on my walls, to shoot on and have on my walls in my office, I would shoot. And yeah, I got into crypto early, and then when NFTs came out, I'm all about crypto, and NFTs were like a crypto thing. So I started to look into it, and then a friend of mine was just like, "Yo, you should put your photography up as NFTs. You have some really interesting work, and I think it would be good." So about 7 months ago, March 2021, 2022, I got into crypto. I'm sorry, I got into NFTs, and yeah, my friend basically told me to get into it, and I've been doing that ever since, and it's been interesting to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, crypto in general is a very interesting journey. I've been in it for 5 years already. As far as photography or artwork, still don't really. Well, I could take more of my 12-year-old, well, 11-year-old. It's more into photography than I am.
Mm,
So, and as far as crypto, I've been doing it for the last 5 years. It's very entertaining, and you could win a lot just like you could lose a lot. So I've been on
yeah,
both sides. And yeah, I mean, the NFT thing is funny because in the beginning, I really didn't see the value in it until later on. Then I started getting it, and I was like, okay, now I get it. Now, this piece right here, care explaining a little bit about it?
yeah. I mean, this piece. It's interesting that you chose this piece because if you look at all my photography, nothing I do is the same. It's very versatile and like it's kind of like stages of my creativity. So this specific piece was taken in Nanjing, China. I actually shot this during the day, and I was just feeling a little bit more creative than usual, and I just was like on a really big like YouTube learning tutorials of how to do composites and just kind of like manipulating photos. This is actually not a composite in the sense that the only thing that I really added was the sky, but like the edits that I did of the changing it from day to night, basically, just little colored grading, honestly, and just adding little lights here and there. It's exactly the same as you would see it during the day. I just turned it into a night photo. Um,
Wow.
and yeah, it's just something I was just trying to be creative with it. I wanted to make it more looking like a painting than an actual photo. So it was just something I was experimenting with, and that was the result. And I liked it. And if everyone hates it, oh good, it's fine. It's still mine. It's always going to be mine. So
Yeah, I mean, if you wouldn't have explained the process, I would have thought this was a night photo. I mean, it does look a little bit animated,
yeah.
but you could barely tell the difference.
Well, the only thing that's different is like the sky. Like I added the sky, but the editing really is just the colors. I didn't make it to look animated or paint like a painting. It was just
Yeah,
photography is painting with light. So all I'm doing is just manipulating the lights, and that's how it comes out. And yeah, like I said, I was going for this, so it worked out to way I wanted it.
nice. So we have the squad in the house. Let me just say hello real quick. We have Racket Club, MK, Marty, Seiko Han, Rowena. How are you? And thank you for being here, guys. I appreciate you. Um, all right, so let me see what other piece. I usually like, to go through the pieces, and you want to say the story behind it, then that's perfectly fine. Um, where do you take this one at?
Yeah, so that specific collection that you're looking at is all of China that I've shot. I was living in Beijing, so this photo is the Heavens Temple of Heaven, which is in Beijing. These are honestly simple things that I would see on a daily basis just from walking outside my apartment. I was living in this is in the city of Beijing, and this is why I travel. People that live in New York, they take the Empire State Building, the they take all that stuff for granted. World Trade Center, Chrysler Building. These are the equivalents of what you would see in other cities, right?
Yeah,
So so basically, for me, this is all new. So going outside, getting a cup of coffee from my hometown would be like a normal day, but going outside in like Asia, anywhere in Asia, Europe is like another experience. And these are the things you would see, whereas New Yorkers would see the World Trade Center and all that stuff. Is their equivalent. So for me as a traveler, I want to document this stuff. This is my memoir. This is my legacy. This is what I've seen in my life, and if I can't tell the story after I'm gone, my photos will. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is an iconic place for tourism in Beijing. But I try to take photos of things that people see all the time, but in a different perspective. Um,
Mhm.
if you go, actually, if you go to my known origin account, which you were on earlier, um, you
Okay.
had you had seen there was a picture that I did. It's on the top, all the way on the top. Yeah, the known origin. There is a picture that I did with Life magazine. I actually shot a photo during the winter. It's all the way down there. It's a collaboration of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Okay. Artwork or collection.
Just go all the way down.
Okay.
It will say like right there.
I see it.
So everyone goes to the Brooklyn Bridge. Everyone takes photos of the Brooklyn Bridge, but this one specifically, there's a story behind this, and this one kind of is like a full circle story for me. Um, I like I said, I was in Asia for 10 years, but I had just come home. This is the first year I've been back in the United States, and during the winter, I was just like hanging out, and it snowed, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to New York. I'm gonna shoot in the snow. It's probably gonna be very empty where I go, and I ended up having to go to the Brooklyn Bridge, and there was just one guy on the Brooklyn Bridge, and I was like, you know what, this is a great shot. Let me take it. And this was before I was in NFTs. Like I said, I got into NFTs in March.
Yeah.
So in June, NFT NYC happened, and Life Magazine put out an open call for a collaboration piece, and the theme was called Home. And I was like, you know what? Well, home to me is New York. Home to me is New Jersey. I've been away for 10 years. It's come full circle. I'm going to put this shot up there. And I submitted it. And I submitted it to Life Magazine, and they chose it. And I had gone to NFT NYC. I went to the event. And basically, when I took this shot, it was snowing. And I was like, I left 10 years ago. I started my photography journey abroad, and now I'm back home. And this is the theme, home. And I was like, getting snowed on. You should see the photo of me on that bridge. Like, my beard is just covered in snow. And
Mhm.
every like snowflake was like that hit me was like a memory of the last 10 years of my life. Everywhere I went to, all the foods that I've eaten, all of the languages that I've heard, the people that I've met, and that's why I named it Flurried Recollections, because it was snowing and I was recollecting on all of the experiences that I've had that have brought me back home. And it's not that I'm not going to continue to travel. I am. It's just it was kind of like a resetting of why I was traveling and where I've been and how I've gotten there and where I am now. And it's just kind of supercharged me to keep going.
Nice. I mean, I like I was telling you earlier, I haven't traveled much yet, but I'm pretty sure it's a very fun experience, especially the part where you get to capture different moments, beautiful views. By the way, I was going through your collection last night, and I was like, wow, this these are amazing, especially this one right here. Uh,
No, you really like that one, do you?
yeah, I mean, yeah, like I don't know if it is because like I always been like I don't know. I think I was born in the wrong how you say wrong family because I like Japanese animation stuff.
Yeah. No, I get
Chinese food, forget it, man. But yeah, I mean the culture is very different and very unique. So um where is the one I was just looking at? This view right here.
yeah.
That's a beautiful view.
That's Shanghai, Shanghai, China.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and like I was like I heard earlier in the space that what the guy was saying, auto something, auto but the space you was just on.
Yeah, yeah. What was he saying?
Yeah, that he said that through your eyes, many people could see other places of the world through your photography. So I agree with him on that one.
Absolutely. I mean, that's kind of why I start. Like I said, I shot for myself, but I also shot for my family, for my friends, because you know a lot of people don't travel, and the stories that I have and the experiences that I have, they're never gonna be experienced with that by anyone else unless you just see the photo and you can kind of decide what was happening, but you're the only one that knows unless you go with a friend. And that's the one thing about travel that I started to realize. Like, I travel alone a lot, but I always meet people specifically so that I can share an experience with them, because I don't want to be left with my own experiences. I want to share that experience. And if you have someone that has the enthusiasm to be like, hey, man, remember in Japan when we went there and we climbed Mount Fuji? Like, me and you share that experience. No one else does. That's something that connects us, right?
Yeah.
And I try to do that as much as I can. And this is why I love traveling so much, because every country I've been to, I have a friend there. And I have so many places that I can go to right now at a drop of a hat and be completely accommodated, which is awesome. You know what I mean? And in that space earlier, people like, oh, what were your plans for the future? You were deciding to go somewhere else. It's like, yeah, I'm deciding to take my next journey, but I'm probably going to go somewhere else that I know someone, so that I know that I'm going to have a really good time. And I'm not saying don't go to a new place. I always like new places, but I've never been to Lebanon. But I met an NFT artist that is on Twitter that lives in Lebanon, and I would love to go meet him just from Twitter, you know. And
Okay.
and that's a new country that I've never been to, and I know that I have a connection with him, and I'm going to be in his exhibition this month. So, that's another reason why like Twitter's amazing in the sense that you could start using your travel experience and your art to connect with other people. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing recently.
Yeah. And just connecting overall with other people around the place, I think that's pretty cool too. Like me myself, I went to Vegas, and when I started to basically do my YouTube channel, like it's a little bit of everything. I have this show specifically for you guys, and but other than that, I do cryptocurrency analysis and all that stuff. But that's the best part about Web3, that you get to meet people all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And now explain how you did this, if you can.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's easy. So this is actually a combination of three photos at the same location. So first, I take a photo of the temple. That was like my objective, but it was on a busy road. So I did light streaks by doing a long exposure, and a long exposure makes the shutter speed, basically stay open a little bit longer to let more light in, which creates the car streaks. So basically, all those lights are just cars going by. You don't see the car because it's going by so quickly, but you see the light because they're being dragged by the car. And I took the one photo of the temple, clear shot. Maybe there's a little bit of light streaks because I wanted to, keep the photo of the temple pretty clear. But then I take previous photos that I took of the same street with the car streaks, and then I just layer them on to that, and you get this composite photo of the same. You just have layers of lights.
Nice, nice. So out of all the collection, which one is your favorite? Or out of all the places that you have visited?
Yeah. So I mean, this is I have a couple of collections out right now. The Cuba one is sold out completely. Um, there's some pieces on foundation, but that one is completely gone.
Mhm.
That collection to me is special because it was my first NFT collection that I put out. Also, it had been a a goal of mine to go to Cuba for a long time because I love history and I also love the 1950s.
Yeah,
It's an interesting era, and Cuba's still stuck in the 50s, as you can tell by some of the car photos that
yeah.
are in that collection. So that was a really special one for me. And because it's my first collection, it got me into the NFTs. There is a photo on Foundation that has a very specific price of 25 Ethereum.
Oh,
And the reason being is because, like I had said in one of previous interviews with other people, um, I shoot what I like, but they all have stories, and you have to ask me about the stories, uh,
okay.
because there are reasons for why I shoot things. Now, the photo that I have on Foundation that is 25 Ethereum is a photo that I took in Vietnam, and it's three women that are sitting in a boat, and I shot it from aerial drone style, so shooting down on them. And the significance of that photo is the fact that the river that the boat is on and the clothes that they're wearing, like traditional with the hats, it is a former spice trade route that connected Vietnam to Indonesia from one of the main ancient marketplace towns in Vietnam. And to me, it's like one of my favorite photos. It has a very special place. I love it. I can't see anyone buying it unless they love it like me. So for me to give it to someone to for them to have it, they need to pay that price. Just because I know with that price that they enjoy it as much as I do, and they enjoy the significance of the story behind it. Now, it doesn't mean that it's my best photo, because I've heard people say, "Hey, man, this isn't your best photo." Well, for me, I love it the most. It probably isn't my best photo, but someone
It's
will resonate with it, and
you.
it's just me. It's how it is.
No, I feel like you put your own meaning to it. So that's, and right now I'm curious to see that photo
It's that one right there with the foundation.
foundation.
Yeah, it's that photo, but it's in a different dimension. It's going up and down instead of left and right.
Okay,
But it's in the collection called Vietnam Mavic. If you go all the way down, you'll see it.
okay.
As you can tell, I have a lot of versatility.
Ooh, yeah. I saw one that caught my attention. This one.
Yeah. So that's part of the same collection. It's all Vietnam aerial drone shots.
Mm,
That is Halong Bai Tu Long Bay. It's close to Hanoi. But yeah, we were just doing like a river. I'm sorry, like a tour of the islands. The boat on the left was actually the boat that I was on, and I'm actually standing on that beach, just controlling my drone and shooting
oh,
it. But
really?
yeah, yeah.
So, wow. That, this one is beautiful.
Thank you.
And, I love the fact that it actually captured the lightning hitting water. That's one thing a lot of people don't believe me when I say if there is a thunderstorm or anything, do not go near the pool, do not go near the beach. So this photo will be the perfect photo for me to show them. Be like, yep, you want to end up looking like a fried chicken? This is what's gonna happen. Okay, okay. We see the man with the white beard, please. Sorry if I missed it already. Sure, Bengal, I will do that. Hello, thank you. Eddie Turner, thank you for being here. Bengal, Tim, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you guys and ladies. Sorry, Bengal. Um, Let me see the one that she's talking about. Unless it was on the other collection. But let me also see the one that you were saying. Let's still go through this one. Oh, that's a nice one too. But we'll get back to it.
Yeah, yeah. There's stories behind all. You can be here forever.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, man, we got a whole what, like about 30 something minutes to kill. So don't worry, I got time.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. I'm good.
I okay. The rubber sole, put on rubber sole shoes. Nah, I'm good, Bengo. I wouldn't even risk it. Oh, this is the one.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the photo that you're saying that you have for. Oh no,
20.
that's not the 25 Eve.
Yeah. There's just something about that photo that kind of just resonates with me the most. And I mean, somebody's gonna be like, "That's not worth 25E." There's other photos that you have that you should have for 25E. That's fine. But I love this photo so much. It's just it reminds me of the place I was at the time. Like most of my photos do, but there's something with this image for me that just it's just special, and I need someone to resonate with that in order for me to let it go. And that's it. I'm not saying it's the best photo in the world. I'm
Yeah,
just saying I love it. I love this photo. There's so many things to it. Just if you look closely, these people. So this woman in the red is the actual boat. I will.
owner.
She's the one that owns the boat. She steers the boat. And these two women are tourists, but they're wearing these clothes with the rice hats, and she's shooting a photo like a selfie, and I just find it funny because this is the one thing I don't understand about people that go abroad and that people that travel, like, live in the moment. You're on
Yeah,
this boat on this river in a very, very ancient town in Vietnam with such historical significance. Yet you're on this boat with your camera phone and a selfie stick, and you're not embracing it all, and you're not understanding what river you're on, what it was used for, and you're just shooting this photo. And I just find it funny because it's so traditional looking and very historical looking, but then when you look at it, she's holding a cell phone, and I just find it funny. And the capture to me just represents how we are as humans. Like, we just don't focus on present, on where we are. Instead, we just take these shots and we miss opportunities, to really soak in where you are. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
people might think I'm being hypocritical. So it's like, well, you do the same thing. You're a photographer. It's like, no, I don't. I actually like enjoy the places first, and I
yeah.
scout them out, and then I decide this is what I want to shoot, and this is because I live in the moment. I don't go out with my camera all the time. I
Okay.
know I know a lot of photographers love going out with their cameras because they say that you might miss an opportunity or might miss a moment. But for me, I want to experience the moment first. Like that town that I was in, I was there for a week. So
Okay.
I was enjoying that place, just walking around the narrow alleys and eating all the different types of food and everything. And then when I was ready to shoot to document it, I had already absorbed enough for me to demonstrate it properly in the way I looked at it and the way I saw it, and how I can present that to people that have never been there, if that makes any sense.
No, yeah, I understand. Yeah. Um, I don't want to skip this question. I like these pics. Are they really that expensive though?
All right, so I mean, to answer his question, that photo specifically is 25 ETH. It depends on what you believe is expensive. Now, when I first started out, my collection was like between point 0.1 and 0.15 Ethereum, and for 3 months, people were buying them, and that collection sold out. And then my next collection was the same price, like 300 bucks usually per photo,
Mhm.
and half of the collection sold. And then I decided to increase my prices so that the people collecting had the opportunity to profit if they wanted to resell it. But I also increased the prices because I felt like I was giving away my art in a sense, because I have a lot to show, and also I wanted to like kind of show the people that supported me in the beginning that you got in first, you're going to benefit from the cost it was previously. And because I raised my prices from point 0.1 to 0.15 to like zero point 0.5 and 1 ETH, and my highest sale is 2 Ethereum.
Oh
and
wow.
and I've sold for zero point 0.5 as well. So I'm still learning with the prices, but I price things at what I believe they're worth, because it did cost me money to fly to these places. It did cost me money to live in these places. It did cost me money to travel. So I have to, put those costs in what I believe the actual photo is worth. So those are a lot of accounts that I put into it. Now, are my prices always going to be that high? Absolutely not. I have collections coming out soon that will be at the same price, point 0.1, 0.15, and I'll keep it out there for a certain amount of time. And if they don't sell out, then I increase it and then I move on. And that's just it. People that get in early, they benefit. They're rewarded for getting in early. So that's the way I look at it.
Understood. Now this photo right here, explain it, because it looks more animated than anything else.
Yeah, so this is an actual collaboration. So what I've been focusing on since June, um, because I thought like to for me to stay creative, especially because I'm in New York right now.
Mhm.
A lot of my work is based in Asia, but I'm in New York, and I didn't really want to always shoot New York. So I decided what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go look for artists in different mediums, whether it be digital art, paintings, anything, and I'm going to provide them a photo, and they're going to put their art medium on it. So this photo, the only thing that's me in this photo is the setting, and it's a desert that I took in Vietnam.
Okay.
The model is an actual woman, is a real woman, and the other artists put that model on top of my desert photo, and then she does digital art, and she put the fire and all that other stuff. So what I've been doing for the last like couple months has been combining my photography with other people's digital art or illustrations, and
Mhm.
just doing a collaboration. And I find that has been very successful for me, because whoever follows her will see my name on it and they will follow me. Whoever follows me will see her and they'll follow her. And if they
Yeah.
like her art, they buy her art. If they like my art, they buy my art. So yeah, it's that's the what I'm focusing on now. I'm working on a collection on my own right now of Guatemala, because that was the last place I was back
Yeah.
in January and April. I went twice this year, and I'm doing a whole collection on Guatemala. But right now, I'm dropping collaboration pieces, and you'll find a lot of collaboration pieces on my foundation in the split section, and they all vary. They're all different.
I have a comment from Tim Shea say I like this too. Fire for real. So now the one in Guatemala, funny because my wife is half Mexican, half Guatemalan. So if you have some photos on that, I'm pretty sure she would love to take a look at them because she was actually born and raised here. So she
Okay.
understands, yeah. Now, or should we save this one for last?
I mean, this is the same artist that I worked with the last piece.
Okay.
The model is from a photo that I took. You can actually see the original photo, I think, in this collection as well. But I sent her the photo, and then she did her digital, work on it.
Nice. All right. So let me see over here.
Yeah. So if you go to collections, you can see all the collections, and then the splits. Splits are like basically all the collaborations that I've done with other artists. That if they're sold, it just goes directly to both of us.
Okay. No origins. Racket Club. He said he liked the digital effects.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, I mean, these are things that I don't normally do and I don't know how to do. And but I do admire it. So I wanted to work with artists that could do that. So at least I can put, my style on top of it and say we did it together and it's like, part of us being just a collaboration. It's fun.
This is a very old school car.
Yeah,
That's
man,
I'm guessing in Cuba, right?
that's Cuba, man. That's why I went to Cuba. This is basically what Cuba is all about, and I love it. And I'm not a big car person. I'm not into cars at all, but I do love these types of cars, the old school and the history behind it, and just the urban photography that you can get in Cuba.
Yeah. Um, there was so here it says more or less the collab. Now when I click on collection, is this like
If
all the collection mix up or
So if you click created, it shows you everything I created. If you click collection, it shows you the collections I've created. But if you click splits, splits shows you collaborations that I've done that aren't in the collections. If that makes
oh
sense. So just click splits if you want to see the collaborations.
yeah. Hold on, let me go do that. Oh, Bengo, where the old man with the white beard that she was talking about. I think that was the one with a tobacco in his thing.
Yeah, that was the Cubano Streets. That was on OpenSea.
Okay.
So yeah, like the two collaborations on the bottom, they've been sold already. But these were my first collaborations. I actually have so the artist that created that, it's a metal print. This is metal. Uh,
Okay.
so yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I love this art scene is really dope. Like there's so many ways you can take it. But yeah,
Yeah.
these are a lot of options to kind of do what you want to do in this space. So
Cool.
this photo is actually my photo, the woman, and then the artist is a painter, and he did a digital abstracts above my photo.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Now let me go back to the one Bengo wanted to see because if not, she's gonna throw the flip flop all the way from across the country, and is gonna hit me with it. She got good aim.
Actually, yeah,
I believe it's this one,
I
Bengal, right?
think it's that one. Yeah, I think it's that one.
So, any story behind that one?
I mean, this was also taken in Cuba. This guy was just walking down the street, and I saw that huge cigar he had in his mouth. And he
Yeah.
was just a nice guy I met. Just hanging out and talking, and then I was like, "Dude, is it okay if I just take a photo of you?" Because he was a very interesting guy. I mean, look at his hat. Look at the huge cigar. You never see cigars like this, right? I just thought he had a really. I mean, look at his eyes. The eyes for me are what sell this photo. Uh,
Hmm.
and this is what Cuba is, man. The Afro Cubans are everywhere. Afro Cuban culture is very prevalent in Cuba, and I just wanted to represent that.
Nice. She said she loves it, and
Yeah,
we had records that my friend Sonia is an aspiring NFT artist. She makes painting and wondering how you turn actual painting into digital NFTs. Oh, he's talking about my wife. She's just getting into art and she's wondering how do you turn the physical one into digital.
yeah. I mean, for photographers that do digital, it's very easy. You just upload it on a minting site. But for painters, I believe what they do is they scan it. I believe it's just a scanned piece, and then it just turns it into digital.
Yeah, I mean, I figure, well, it kind of like scan, but I figured just take a photo of it and crop it as much as you can, and then I don't know if there's some kind of digital filter to turn into NFT.
I personally just think that people scan their art and
Yeah,
then just
yeah.
turns it into a digital. I'm not sure because I don't need to. I don't need to do that, which is good for me as a digital photographer. But
I let's talk about a little bit about the. Well, is there more on the unknown origins? Oh, well, we haven't seen this one. Who
uh,
am I?
that's just an article on the Medium that was written about me. I mean,
Oh,
you can go through it. We can talk about this because this collection hasn't even been minted yet because I applied for super rare. I don't know if you know what super rare is.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so super rare for me, I think to be taken a lot more seriously in the NFT space, I need to be on super rare. They have a gallery in New York. They have a magazine. A lot of top collectors buy from Super Rare because they choose specific people. It's a long process. I'm still waiting, but
Hmm.
that collection is culturally, historically significant in the sense that when I was living in China, people don't realize that yeah, China has 1.5 billion people, and everyone thinks of Shanghai, and it's all bright, and they have a lot of money, but there's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of poverty in that country, and there's a lot of indigenous ethnic groups in that country that are not very well represented, and uh, and they're also being assimilated forcefully to be more Chinese. And like I said, they're not ethnically Chinese; they're nationally Chinese because the borders pretty much cross them. So I started to document those people in the poorest provinces of China, just to show people that these are, actual tribes that are, prevalent. They should be preserved. They should be respected. So I was just, focusing on that.
Okay. I mean, that's the one you was mentioning earlier, Mongolian, something like that.
It was on the top of that article that we were looking at.
Okay.
First groups of pictures. Uh,
And
that's that's the same skyline as before, just on a ground view.
all right. Um. Well, this one is definitely interesting. Never seen that.
Yeah, so this photo I took in California, and this was like a couple years back. I don't remember the exact time, but
Mm.
I recently found out that that boat was set on fire. So that boat doesn't exist anymore as is. I don't know if it's still there or how bad the damage was, but it was completely caught ablaze recently, which is crazy because I just put that out a couple, I think 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, and then I found out that same week that that boat is no more. So
Wow.
a lot of people bought that. I did it in additions, so
So you could buy your artwork, Tesos, and Ethereum, right?
correct. Yes.
All right. Now this is personal. How do you get a picture of me?
Um, I was on a boat in Borneo, Malaysia. It's an island, part of Malaysia. Actually, it's an island that has three countries on it: Malaysia, Brunei, and Indonesia. And I was working for a travel, like a hotel in this river forest area, and I had a decent lens that could zoom up a lot. But I was also on a boat, so as we were going by, this monkey was just sitting in the tree like that. And yeah, this is one of those fortunate shots you just get.
Yeah. No, he's laughing because I'm guessing, I don't know if you heard me, but I said, how did you get a picture of me?
Oh, I didn't hear that, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why everybody's laughing because you just started explaining.
Well, there you go. It's perfect. It's perfect.
I went over his head. Yeah, I noticed. um, oh, wait. By the way, guys, this is his Twitter, Robin Rivera.eve at Robin Rivera. If you can follow him, the link to the link tree, it's also on the description of the video. So please make sure you follow him, support a fellow artist. Um, Let me see what else. What else? Okay, let me go back here. Um, this is beautiful.
Yeah, that's another shot from Beijing, a little bit outside the city, but not far from the main city, and it's done by drone as well during the fall.
So the all right. Everybody want to hear the story about Bambi.
Um, yeah, no, I was in Sri Lanka with this photo, and I was at the Yala National Park. We were there actually. We were looking for jaguars because even though Sri Lanka is like one of the smallest places, they have the largest density of wild jaguars in the world in that park. But they're so lucid that you can't find them. We didn't see any, unfortunately, but we saw a lot of deer, a lot of monkeys, a lot of elephants, just warthogs, crocodiles, all that cool stuff. No jaguars, unfortunately.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Are they betting? Oh, sumo wrestling.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I thought they were betting for a second.
They're playing dice, shooting
Yeah,
dice. Yeah,
yeah. Uh, you didn't see them, but they saw you. Oh,
yeah,
he's
for
saying
sure.
about the Jaguar.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
What up, G man? I so you actually got to see an actual sumo wrestling fight.
Yeah, yeah. This was in 2014 or 2013. Yeah,
Okay.
October. So these fights,
Hmm.
they don't happen often. Me and my friends were in Tokyo, luckily, for 3 days, 3 or 4 days, at the exact time this was happening. So we got really lucky with that. Um, that was the first time I ever went to Japan, and Japan is probably one of my favorite places in the world. I love Japan.
Yeah.
Uh, but there's an interesting story behind this trip, and this photo will forever remind me. I actually, I mean, this is an interesting story. I got drugged by the Yakuza in Japan.
What?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've told this story many times, but this photo will forever remind me. So, like, there's an area in Japan, in Tokyo, called Roppongi, which is a very well-known tourist area. A lot of pubs, a lot of bars, and I had just been with my friend walking around. A friend of 20 years that happened to be traveling with me. Well, not with me. He was actually in Japan at the same time. We were both living in Korea at the time, but we happened to go to Japan the same weekend because it was a national holiday in Japan in Korea. So we were out, having fun, and I had plans to go to Mount Fuji the next day. So
Okay.
I wasn't planning on staying out for a long time. So we had gone out, and there was a lot of places that were offering like one free drink if you come in, and you come in one free drink, and then you end up seeing that it's a shady place. And after you get the one drink, they want you to spend like $50 on a drink for a bartender. And we're like, no, we don't want to do that. So we left. We kept doing that, kept going in, taking a drink, leaving, going, taking a drink, leaving. And then around 1 in the morning, we go to this last place, and these people come up to us and they were like, "Hey, do you want to do shots? Can you buy us shots?" And I was just like, "No, I gotta go to Mount Fuji in the morning. Let's see where this goes. How about you buy the first round?" And then they did. And this guy comes with Japanese bartender with a little bow tie with these drinks on the tray. And I can tell you that was like the last thing I drank that night, because I basically walked out, blacked out, and found myself in another place with some random person I don't even remember meeting, and just telling me that I owed $400. And I was like, I never bought any of this stuff. It was all like alcohol on a table.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
and then I ran out. Like I just ran out because I had no money on me, like not that much. And then I blacked out. As soon as I ran out again, I blacked out. And the next time I woke up, I was laying on a table, like a massage bed, right? And there was like four women around me just taking like my wallet and taking the cash out of my wallet, and I couldn't get up, like I couldn't move. And basically
wow,
what had happened was there's this drug called scopolamina, and it's very prevalent in Colombia. They do it in Thailand as well. But is if you touch someone with this drug or they ingest it, you will do anything that that person tells you, like literally anything. So this woman comes up to me and she's like, she takes my wallet and she takes like $400 in cash that I had in my wallet for that trip. And
yeah,
then she comes back with a calculator and she's like, your credit card doesn't work anymore. Can you put your PIN number? And I just literally was just like, okay. And I start typing my PIN number. She comes back and she's like, oh, it doesn't work anymore. I black out again, and then when I wake up the next time, she's smacking me in the face, and it's 9 a.m. So from like 1 a.m. to 9 a.m., I don't know what was going on. I just remember like bits and pieces. She escorts me to the train station for like the subway, but I have no money. So I had to walk an hour and a half. I just kept walking in one direction and asking the police, is this the way to Shinjuku? Is this the way to Shinjuku, which is an area of Japan in Tokyo? And they're
yeah.
like, yeah, just keep going that way. And I just walking for an hour and a half. And all of a sudden I crossed the bridge and I saw my hotel. And I was like, oh my God, thank God I found it.
No, that
My
that is
friends my
crazy.
friends were like, where have you been all night? I was like, I don't want to talk about it. I definitely got drugged. My money was stolen. I'm going to take a nap. Like I slept all day. When I woke up, I remembered, oh, they had my credit card. I called my credit card company. They were like,
Yeah,
yeah, you spent like $3,600 on miscellaneous goods. And I'm like, I never told you I was coming to Japan, and they canceled it. Like I didn't have to pay it, like completely canceled it, because they knew it was a false transaction. So the only
yeah.
thing they got out of me was the $400 in cash, but at least I got this photo, to
I know,
remember.
I know, I know. Shaman says,
Yeah,
"Say,
I saw it.
lucky to have all your organs."
Yeah, that was another thing. I woke up the next morning and I was like, I literally checked if I had stitches. Like I was like,
Yeah, he said if you check to make sure that you have them all. Then he said, "Where can I buy this substance? I'm asking for a friend."
yeah, no, that's yeah, Dragon's Breath is another
Dragon
reason.
Bro.
Yeah, Dragon's Breath.
You know, it's
I'm
funny because I actually heard of that. So quick story. One of my aunt, she owns a business in the Dominican Republic, and she left the employee in charge. Somebody went in there in a bike, just touched her. She said that it was like she was hypnotized or something,
yeah,
and she literally emptied out
yeah,
the cashier, the cash
yeah.
register, and gave her all the money that they made. I was like, "Are you serious?"
I went down to Colombia last November with some of my friends, and I remember this experience in Japan, and I was very very cautious in Colombia because, unlike Japan, like it happens in a certain area in Tokyo, but in Colombia it can happen pretty much anywhere, even taxis. So I would go home fairly early. Didn't go to like shady places or clubs. I would hang out with my friends, but um, 2 weeks prior to going to Colombia, like an American had gone down there, and so he had gotten drugged by a woman, and he ended up dying because he overdosed on the drug that he didn't even know he was getting into. And then it happens a lot. Like a guy met a woman and she drugged him, and he woke up the next morning and went to the security. He was like, "Where is all my stuff in my apartment? Like everything is gone." And security was like, "You took it all out with that woman last night, and you packed it into a van." So it's like
Ooh,
you will do whatever these people tell you to do if you're on that drug. It's very dangerous.
that
It's
is
crazy.
crazy, man.
and,
Yeah,
and, and like the flower, it's from a flower that grows in Colombia, so it's very heavily used.
that is crazy. Well, even more of a reason why I will stay away from foreign countries.
I mean, these things happen if you're looking. I mean, look, I look at that Tokyo story, and it's it's my fault. You know what I mean? Like I went to these places, so if you're a tourist and you go to, it's not going to happen to you. I mean, it's also written in these travel books, like don't go to this area unless you want to get drugged, or be careful, this is what happens in that area. But they say, they're not out to hurt you, they just want your money and whatever. And there are all these bars, and when I say yakuza, it's because all these bars are run by yakuza. So
Yeah.
it's a thing there. But I have all my organs, thankfully. And at least I have that story, and it's something that I've experienced, and I can tell other people to watch out for.
All right. Some girl tried to get me in Medellin last year, but I did my research and ran for
Dude,
them.
and Medellin was where I was. It's a cool place though. I like Medellin a lot.
um. So basically, we have about 3 minutes. I mean, this has been definitely fun. Um, and man, basically, you want to take the time to say anything about your work and everything else. I mean, you got plenty of stories, bro. I really do see that. So, and the artwork is amazing.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I mean, I don't know how many of your viewers are artists or are in NFTs, but for me, being on Twitter for the last 7 months, because I always mention Twitter because that's basically where a lot of the marketing for my work goes.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of craziness on Twitter, a lot of drama as well, like anything. And if you're looking to be an NFT artist, just I would say be true to yourself, be true to your art. Whatever you believe your art is worth, you put it up there. It doesn't matter if you think it's too expensive for other people. Like the people that want to collect your art and the people that have the Ethereum will buy it. I see a lot of artists forgetting why they were creating in the first place. I, I see a lot of artists forgetting that they were creators before NFTs. Like I said, I've been doing photography, I would say professionally, 6 years now. Um, but I've always done it for myself. Not until recently did I decide to start selling it because a friend was like, "You should definitely sell your work as NFTs." Now, if I wasn't in NFTs, I would still be shooting photography. I would still be traveling. I would still be collecting these experiences. So I wanted to tell artists out there and photographers, don't be influenced by people that are collecting your art. Don't be influenced by people that have a lot of money telling you what you should be selling your work for. Because I see it too often. These people that got into Ethereum very early think that they can dictate how people sell their work. They don't understand art. They have no history in or background in art history. They're just buying things because they want to buy it, and they're telling you to change your prices because they want it cheaper, and they think that you're desperate for money. It works on a lot of people, and I see it. But for me, if I don't sell another NFT, I'm not going to miss a meal. I'm not going to miss an opportunity to travel. So I want artists to really understand that your work is valuable as long as you believe it.
Well, I mean, there's three people in here right now that could use that one. One is racket club. He is starting up his own collection called Weekend Warriors, which I'm looking forward to it. And my wife, which she just came in, she gave me my new glasses. And my best friend, which it's also another amazing artist, and he just haven't gotten yet to the NFT part, which I keep bugging him about it. But yeah,
I just read Bangal's comment, but I'm gonna have to disagree with him because I've traveled a lot. Um, I've never had any issues with anyone abroad, non-American. I understand that Americans that travel can be obnoxious, but I can tell you a lot of groups of people that can be obnoxious. I just feel like people just get too comfortable abroad. They don't realize that they're abroad and they think everything is supposed to be acclimated to them. But for me, I've had no America hate towards me or towards anyone. Just be you. I don't like to generalize, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. I mean, me, I just like I've seen so many movies, bro, that I'm not gonna lie, I'm a chicken. So, I don't know if you remember a movie called Hostel.
Yeah, but that's like you know that's
Yeah,
just
that's
that's just
it.
fear mongering stuff.
Yeah, yeah. The American South Africa I like focus on race now, but anyway, bro, let me let me not take any more of your time. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate your photography, bro. It's really good. Literally, I like it. And the fact that you get to travel to all these different countries and capture those moments, I think that has to be an awesome experience overall.
Oh, trust me, I know. I mean, I come across people that I'm just like, yeah, not my flavor, not my flavor of the week.
So she said your spirit is different though. Not everyone is like you when they travel, but you have to travel. It broadens the mind. The artwork slaps. You have a great eye. Snaps. I'm guessing she meant to say.
Yeah, yeah, slaps.
Oh,
No,
yeah, that's a
slaps.
good
Slaps
thing.
is the new term now. Like it's
Oh,
good.
because you guys I gotta take care of me in Brixton. Well, Bengo, if I decide to, travel, I will probably go to London and see what's that over there about. So make sure you have lots of food because I eat a lot. I'm just kidding. But all right, everyone, thank you for being here. Like always, I appreciate you guys. Have a blessed day. Robin, you go hold on 1 minute, bro. Don't go
Yeah, yeah.
nowhere. Let
Well,
me play.
thanks for having me. It's been fun, to be honest.
No, likewise, bro. Literally, if you, whenever you got your next collection up, you feel like coming by, let me know, man.
Oh, for sure, for sure. That will be within the next month or so. But yeah, it'll be awesome to come back for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm gonna talk to you real quick behind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let me just close this out. All right, everyone, have a good one.